For nearly 500 years, Rome ruled the known world. Its armies were unstoppable. Its cities were magnificent. Its emperors were worshipped. Then, it all collapsed. So what destroyed the greatest empire in history? Was it barbarian invasions, corrupt emperors, economic disaster, or did Rome destroy itself from within? Stay until the end, because the real reason Rome fell might surprise you. Welcome back to Untold Empires. Today we're uncovering one of history's greatest mysteries, the fall of the Roman Empire. In this documentary, you'll discover how Rome rose to dominate the ancient world, the hidden cracks that slowly weakened the empire, why barbarian tribes were only part of the story, the dramatic events that led to Rome's final collapse, and how the fall of one empire changed the course of human history forever. This is the story of how the greatest empire the world had ever seen finally came crashing down. Imagine living in a world where every road led to one city, a city so rich, so powerful, and so influential that people believed it would stand forever. That city was Rome. At its height in the 2nd century AD, the Roman Empire stretched across 3 continents, from the misty hills of Britain to the scorching deserts of North Africa, and from the Atlantic Ocean to the Middle East. Rome controlled nearly 5 million square kilometers of land. More than 60 million people lived under Roman rule, around 1/4 of the world's population at the time. Roman engineers built roads that connected thousands of miles of territory. Massive aqueducts carried fresh water into bustling cities. Colossal amphitheaters entertained crowds with gladiator games, while Roman law and architecture influenced generations to come. Its legions were the most disciplined fighting force in the ancient world. To many, Rome appeared invincible. But beneath its glittering surface, the foundations of the empire were beginning to crack. History rarely ends with one dramatic event. Empires don't usually collapse overnight. They weaken slowly. For Rome, the decline began long before the empire actually fell. As the empire expanded, governing distant provinces became increasingly difficult. Communication was slow, corruption spread through the government, and ambitious generals began competing for power. The Roman Empire had grown so vast that controlling it became one of its greatest challenges. What had once been Rome's greatest strength was becoming its biggest weakness. In AD 235, Rome entered one of its darkest periods. For nearly 50 years, emperors rose and fell at an alarming rate. Many ruled for only months before being assassinated. Some were killed by rival generals. Others were murdered by their own soldiers. Historians call this period the crisis of the 3rd century. In just 5 decades, more than 20 emperors claimed the throne. Civil wars drained Rome's wealth, weakened its armies, and shattered confidence in the government. Instead of defending the empire's borders, Roman soldiers were increasingly fighting one another. The empire was beginning to tear itself apart from within. War is expensive. Civil war is even worse. To pay for constant military campaigns, Roman emperors raised taxes again and again. Many farmers could no longer afford to keep their land. Trade declined. Inflation spiraled out of control as the government reduced the silver content in its coins, making the currency less valuable. Prices soared. Food became more expensive. Ordinary Romans struggled to survive. An empire once famous for its prosperity was now facing an economic crisis. By the late 3rd century, Emperor Diocletian realized one man could no longer govern such a vast empire. His solution was radical. He divided the Roman Empire into 2 halves. The Western Roman Empire would be ruled from Italy. The Eastern Roman Empire would be governed from Byzantium, later renamed Constantinople. The decision made administration easier, but it also created 2 very different empires. The East grew richer and stronger. The West became increasingly vulnerable. Without realizing it, Rome had taken its first major step toward permanent division. For centuries, tribes beyond Rome's borders had admired and feared the empire. Now they saw opportunity. The Visigoths, the Vandals, the Franks, the Ostrogoths, and the Huns. These names would become symbols of Rome's decline. Some tribes entered peacefully, seeking safety within Roman territory. Others arrived as conquerors. As pressure mounted along the frontiers, Rome struggled to defend thousands of miles of borders. Its once invincible legions were stretched dangerously thin. Then came the unimaginable. In AD 410, the Visigoth king Alaric marched on Rome. For 800 years, the city had never fallen to a foreign enemy. Romans believed their capital was untouchable. They were wrong. The gates were opened. The Visigoths poured into the city. For 3 days, they looted homes, palaces, and temples. Although the destruction was less severe than later accounts suggested, the psychological impact was enormous. If Rome itself could be conquered, perhaps the empire was no longer eternal. As Rome struggled to recover, an even greater threat emerged. His name was Attila. Known as the Scourge of God, Attila led the Huns across Europe with terrifying speed. Entire cities surrendered rather than face his army. Although Attila never permanently captured Rome, his campaigns devastated the empire's already weakened defenses. Fear spread faster than his armies. Rome was running out of time. In AD 455, the Vandals crossed the Mediterranean and captured Rome. The city was plundered once again. Its wealth disappeared. Its prestige collapsed. Just 21 years later, in AD 476, a Germanic commander named Odoacer forced the young emperor Romulus Augustulus to abdicate. Remarkably, there was no great final battle, no glorious last stand, no dramatic explosion. The last emperor simply surrendered. The Western Roman Empire had come to an end. Many people believe Rome disappeared in AD 476, but that's only half the story. The Eastern Roman Empire survived. Known today as the Byzantine Empire, it continued for nearly 1,000 more years. Its capital, Constantinople, remained one of the richest cities in the world until it fell in 1453. In many ways, Rome never truly vanished. Its laws, language, architecture, engineering, and ideas continued shaping civilizations across Europe and beyond. Even today, the influence of Rome can be seen in governments, legal systems, roads, and buildings around the world. The Roman Empire wasn't destroyed by one enemy or one battle. It fell because of a combination of political corruption, economic decline, military overstretch, civil wars, and relentless invasions. The barbarians may have delivered the final blow, but Rome had been weakening for centuries before they arrived. Its fall reminds us that even the greatest civilizations can collapse when internal problems are ignored. Empires may seem eternal. History tells us otherwise. If you enjoyed this journey through one of history's greatest empires, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Untold Empires, and turn on notifications so you never miss another untold story from history. What do you think was the biggest reason Rome fell? Corruption, economic collapse, or the barbarian invasions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next documentary.